Finally tonight, a farmer who just would not give up, digging in his field in Michigan when he thought he hit a fence post. Turns out he found a window back to the Ice Age.
Beneath the vast, sun-drenched fields of Texas, a farmer named John Lawson was about to uncover a secret that had been buried for centuries. John, a fifth-generation farmer, prided himself on his robust knowledge of the land. He had spent countless hours tending to his crops, knowing every contour and nuance of his fields. However, nothing could have prepared him for the astonishing discovery that awaited him one hot summer day. Before we start, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. It was a typical day for John. The sky was clear, and the temperature had already soared by mid-morning. He decided to inspect a section of his land where he planned to expand his cornfield. The area had always been a bit peculiar, with patches where crops never seemed to thrive as well as elsewhere. John had always attributed it to variations in the soil composition, a common enough occurrence on such a large piece of land. As he began to plow, his tractor hit something solid beneath the soil. John assumed it was just another rock, or perhaps an old piece of farming equipment that had been lost over the years. However, as he tried to remove the obstruction, he realized that this was no ordinary obstacle. The object was massive and appeared to be made of stone. Curiosity piqued, John decided to investigate further. He carefully dug around the object, revealing more of its surface. It was clear now that this was not a naturally occurring rock formation. The stone had intricate carvings, patterns that seemed to suggest a level of craftsmanship not typical of anything he had encountered before. With every shovelful of dirt he removed, the more elaborate the carvings became. John's mind raced with possibilities. Could this be an artifact from an ancient civilization? Texas, after all, had a rich history that included Native American tribes and early Spanish explorers. However, the style of the carvings did not match anything he had seen in local museums or history books. This object seemed out of place and time. Determined to uncover the full extent of his find, John enlisted the help of a few friends and neighbors. Together, they spent several days carefully excavating the area. As more of the object was revealed, it became apparent that this was not a standalone artifact, but rather the top of a structure that extended deep into the ground. The local historical society was contacted, and soon a team of archaeologists arrived on the scene. Their excitement was palpable as they began their own investigation. The carvings, they noted, were unlike anything documented in North American archaeology. They speculated that the structure could be a relic of an ancient and unknown civilization that predated any recorded history of the region. As the excavation continued, more artifacts were uncovered. Pottery shards, tools, and even skeletal remains began to surface. The objects were carefully cataloged and sent to laboratories for analysis. Early results indicated that the site could be thousands of years old, dating back to a time long before the known indigenous cultures of the area. The discovery quickly garnered attention from the academic community and the media. John's farm became a hub of activity, with researchers and journalists flocking to the site. Experts from various fields offered theories about the origins of the structure and its occupants. Some suggested that it could be evidence of a lost civilization, perhaps one that had migrated from another part of the world. Others proposed more outlandish ideas, including connections to extraterrestrial visitors. Despite the sensational theories, the consensus among archaeologists was that the site represented a significant and previously unknown chapter in human history. The structure appeared to be a type of temple or ceremonial site, with evidence of complex rituals and social organization. The carvings, once fully translated, provided insights into the beliefs and practices of the people who had built it. For John, the discovery was both thrilling and overwhelming. His quiet life as a farmer had been turned upside down by the find. The media attention brought both benefits and challenges. On one hand, he enjoyed the sense of importance and the excitement of being at the center of such a significant discovery. On the other hand, the constant presence of strangers on his land disrupted his farming operations and his personal life. As the weeks turned into months, the excavation expanded. Researchers uncovered a network of tunnels and chambers beneath the main structure. These passages revealed more artifacts and clues about the people who had once lived there. The scale of the site suggested that it had been a major center of activity, possibly even a capital of a forgotten empire. One of the most intriguing discoveries was a set of murals that adorned the walls of a large underground chamber. The murals depicted scenes of daily life, religious ceremonies, and what appeared to be interactions with other cultures. The level of detail and the vibrant colors of the paintings were astonishing, suggesting that the artists had access to advanced techniques and materials. The discovery of the murals led to further speculation about the identity of the civilization. Some experts believe that the artwork showed influences from Mesoamerican cultures, suggesting possible trade or contact between distant regions. Others pointed to similarities with ancient Mediterranean and Middle Eastern art, raising the possibility of even broader connections. The implications of the find were profound. If the site truly represented a lost civilization with connections to other ancient cultures, it could rewrite the history of human migration and interaction. The discovery challenged existing theories about the development of civilizations and the extent of early global trade networks. John watched with a mixture of pride and amazement as the excavation progressed. He had always felt a deep connection to his land, but the discovery had given him a new perspective. He realized that he was not just a steward of the soil, but also a guardian of a remarkable piece of human heritage. The responsibility weighed heavily on him, but he was determined to honor the legacy of those who had come before him. As the archaeologists continued their work, they made a series of smaller but equally fascinating discoveries. Among them was a collection of jewelry, including intricate necklaces and bracelets made from gold and precious stones. The craftsmanship of the pieces suggested a high level of skill and artistry. The presence of such valuable items also indicated a society with complex social hierarchies and trade networks. In one of the deeper chambers, researchers found a set of clay tablets covered in an unknown script. The language was unlike any known writing system, posing a significant challenge for linguists and historians. Deciphering the script could provide a wealth of information about the people who had created the site, including their beliefs, laws, and interactions with neighboring cultures. The discovery of the tablets sparked a flurry of activity in the academic community. Linguists from around the world collaborated to crack the code, using advanced computer algorithms and comparative analysis. Slowly but surely, they began to make progress. Early translations suggested that the tablets contained records of trade transactions, religious texts, and even poetry. The poetic verses were particularly revealing, offering a glimpse into the cultural and spiritual life of the civilization. They spoke of gods and goddesses, of creation myths and heroic deeds. The poems also hinted at a rich oral tradition, with stories passed down through generations. The lyrical quality of the verses suggested a deep appreciation for beauty and artistry. Meanwhile, the site itself continued to yield surprises. Excavators uncovered a series of subterranean chambers filled with a mysterious, shimmering substance. Initial tests indicated that the material was a type of bioluminescent mineral, possibly used for lighting or ceremonial purposes. The discovery of the mineral added another layer of intrigue to the site, suggesting that the civilization had harnessed natural resources in innovative ways. As the excavation reached deeper levels, researchers found evidence of a catastrophic event that appeared to have led to the abandonment of the site. Signs of fire, collapsed structures, and scattered human remains indicated a sudden and violent end. The cause of the disaster remained a mystery, with theories ranging from natural disasters like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions to invasions by rival groups. Despite the tragic end, the legacy of the civilization endured through the artifacts and structures they left behind. The discovery had a profound impact on the local community and beyond. Schools in the area integrated the findings into their curricula, sparking a renewed interest in history and archaeology among students. Local businesses benefited from the influx of tourists and researchers, leading to an economic boost for the region. For John, the discovery brought a sense of fulfillment and purpose. He had always been proud of his farming heritage, but now he felt connected to a deeper, more ancient lineage. He continued to work with the archaeologists, providing support and resources to aid their efforts. He also became an advocate for the preservation of other historical sites, using his newfound platform to raise awareness about the importance of protecting cultural heritage. As the years went by, the excavation site on John Lawson's farm continued to captivate the world. The mysteries it held and the answers it promised kept researchers, historians, and the public deeply invested. The site had transformed from a local curiosity into an international sensation, drawing an eclectic mix of people from various fields to the heart of Texas. One of the most fascinating aspects of the site was its potential to rewrite established historical narratives. As researchers delved deeper, they uncovered evidence suggesting that this ancient civilization might have had advanced knowledge in areas previously thought to be the domain of much later societies. The bioluminescent mineral, for instance, was studied extensively and found to have unique properties that could have allowed for sophisticated lighting systems. This revelation prompted a reevaluation of the technological capabilities of ancient peoples. In addition to the physical artifacts, the site yielded intangible treasures in the form of cultural insights. The clay tablets, once completely deciphered, provided a detailed account of the civilization's daily life, governance, and philosophy. These records revealed a society that valued harmony with nature, the pursuit of knowledge, and a structured but compassionate approach to governance. Their legal codes emphasized justice and fairness, with punishments designed to rehabilitate rather than merely penalize. Among the more surprising discoveries was the indication of an early form of democratic governance. The tablets described a council of elders who were elected by the people to make decisions on their behalf. This council included representatives from various social strata, suggesting an inclusive approach to leadership that was advanced for its time. The concept of elected representation contrasted sharply with the more autocratic systems of governance known to exist in other ancient cultures, challenging preconceived notions about the evolution of political systems. The murals and other artistic expressions continued to astound art historians. Detailed analyses of the pigments and techniques used in the murals showed that the artists had access to a wide range of materials, some of which were not native to the region. This suggested a far-reaching trade network that brought exotic goods and ideas into the heart of the civilization. The influence of other cultures was evident in the art, which displayed a blend of local and foreign elements, indicating a society that was both proud of its heritage and open to external influences. The discovery of a burial site within the complex added another layer of complexity to the understanding of this ancient people. The graves were elaborate, with some individuals buried with rich offerings, including jewelry, pottery, and weapons. The presence of these items suggested a belief in an afterlife and the importance of preparing the deceased for their journey. The burial practices provided insights into their spiritual beliefs and social structures, indicating a society with a well-developed religious system and a deep reverence for their ancestors. The skeletal remains themselves offered invaluable information. Advances in forensic archaeology allowed researchers to reconstruct aspects of the individual's lives, including their diet, health, and even their physical appearance. The analysis revealed a population that was generally healthy and well-nourished, with few signs of malnutrition or disease. This finding was consistent with the society's apparent emphasis on agriculture and sustainable living, as indicated by the extensive and sophisticated irrigation systems uncovered during the excavation. One particularly poignant discovery was that of a child's grave, adorned with delicate toys and carvings. This find humanized the ancient civilization, reminding the modern world that these were real people with emotions, families, and personal lives. The toys, intricately crafted, suggested that the society placed great value on childhood and the nurturing of the next generation. The attention to detail in the child's burial also indicated a strong sense of community and care for one another. The ongoing excavation and research had a significant impact on the local community. John Lawson, once a simple farmer, found himself at the center of a vibrant and bustling hub of activity. He adapted to his new role with grace, becoming a bridge between the past and the present. He often spoke at local schools and community events, sharing the story of the discovery and its importance. His enthusiasm was infectious, inspiring many young people to pursue careers in archaeology, history, and related fields. The farm itself underwent a transformation. What was once a quiet, productive piece of land became a well-organized archaeological site, with designated areas for excavation, research, and public viewing. John worked closely with the Historical Society and the archaeologists to ensure that the site was accessible to visitors while preserving its integrity. Guided tours were organized, providing an educational experience that allowed people to witness the excavation process firsthand and learn about the discoveries in real time. The media continued to cover the site extensively, with documentaries, news reports, and articles reaching a global audience. The story of John Lawson and the ancient civilization beneath his farm captured the imagination of millions. It became a symbol of the unexpected wonders that lie hidden in the most ordinary places, and the power of perseverance and curiosity in uncovering them. The academic community was not the only group fascinated by the discovery. Artists, writers, and filmmakers drew inspiration from the ancient civilization. Novels and movies set in the mysterious world depicted in the murals began to appear, blending historical facts with imaginative storytelling. The site also influenced contemporary art, with exhibitions showcasing modern interpretations of the ancient designs and motifs found in the carvings and murals. The site's impact extended beyond cultural and academic realms. Economically, the region experienced a boom. Tourism flourished, with visitors eager to see the ancient site and the surrounding area. Local businesses, from hotels and restaurants to souvenir shops, benefited from the influx of tourists. The increased revenue allowed for further development and improvements in infrastructure, enhancing the quality of life for residents. Environmentalists also took an interest in the site, particularly the sophisticated irrigation and agricultural techniques used by the ancient civilization. Researchers studied these methods, looking for sustainable practices that could be applied to modern farming. The ancient techniques, which had allowed the civilization to thrive in harmony with nature, offered valuable lessons in sustainability and resource management. As the years turned into decades, the site continued to yield new discoveries and insights. Advances in technology allowed for more detailed analysis of the artifacts and structures. Ground-penetrating radar and other non-invasive techniques revealed additional underground chambers and structures, suggesting that much of the site had yet to be uncovered. The collaboration between archaeologists, historians, linguists, and other experts grew stronger, leading to a more comprehensive understanding of the ancient civilization. International conferences were held to discuss the findings, fostering a global exchange of ideas and knowledge. The site became a focal point for interdisciplinary research, pushing the boundaries of what was known about ancient human societies. John Lawson, now a respected figure in both the local and academic communities, continued to play an active role in the site's preservation and study. His dedication to the project was unwavering, driven by a deep respect for the land and its history. He often reflected on how a simple farming day had led to a discovery that changed not only his life, but also the understanding of human history. The legacy of the discovery extended far beyond the boundaries of John's farm. It served as a reminder of the rich and diverse tapestry of human history and the importance of preserving and studying our past. The ancient civilization beneath the Texas fields, once forgotten, had found its place in the annals of history, thanks to the curiosity and dedication of a humble farmer and the collective efforts of countless researchers. As John Lawson stood looking over his transformed farm, he could hardly believe how much had changed since that fateful day. The dig site was now a bustling hive of activity, with experts from around the world coming to study the remnants of the ancient civilization that lay beneath his fields. The site had become a beacon for scholarly inquiry, and each new discovery only deepened the mystery and broadened the scope of research. One of the major projects initiated by the team was the complete mapping of the subterranean network. Utilizing cutting-edge technologies like ground-penetrating radar and 3D modeling, researchers were able to create detailed maps of the underground chambers and tunnels. These maps revealed a complex labyrinth that extended far beyond the initial excavation area. The complexity and scale of the underground structures suggested a highly organized society with advanced engineering skills. The most stunning discovery was a vast central chamber, far larger than any previously uncovered. This chamber appeared to be a central meeting place or a grand temple. The ceiling was adorned with intricate frescoes depicting celestial events and mythological scenes. The walls were lined with rows of stone benches facing a large altar at the center. The altar itself was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, made from a single slab of stone and covered in carvings that depicted scenes of worship and sacrifice. The frescoes on the ceiling posed a new challenge for the archaeologists and art historians. Unlike the murals found in other chambers, these depicted detailed star maps and astronomical phenomena. This led to the involvement of astronomers and astrophysicists who were called in to help decode the celestial references. Their analysis suggested that the civilization had an advanced understanding of astronomy, with knowledge of planetary movements, eclipses, and possibly even the precession of the equinoxes. The discovery of the central chamber also brought to light a series of large stone tablets, each one covered in the enigmatic script that had first puzzled researchers. These tablets were much larger and more elaborate than those found earlier. The painstaking process of translation began anew, with linguists working around the clock to decipher their contents. The initial results were promising, revealing what appeared to be a comprehensive record of the civilization's history, achievements, and possibly its downfall. The tablets told a story of a civilization that had flourished for centuries, developing advanced technologies and a rich cultural life. They described a society that valued knowledge and learning, with institutions dedicated to the study of the natural world, medicine, and the stars. There were references to great scholars and inventors whose works had contributed to the prosperity and advancement of their people. The tablets also mentioned extensive trade networks that connected their civilization to distant lands, suggesting a level of interaction and exchange that was previously unimagined for that era. However, the tablets also hinted at darker times. There were accounts of internal strife, resource shortages, and conflicts with neighboring groups. The descriptions of the final years were particularly haunting, with references to natural disasters, plagues, and a gradual decline in the society's stability. The final tablet in the series ended abruptly, leaving many questions unanswered about the ultimate fate of the civilization. As the translations progressed, a clearer picture of the society's daily life began to emerge. The people were skilled farmers, artisans, and traders. They had a well-developed legal system and a complex social hierarchy. Education was highly valued, with schools and libraries playing a central role in the community. The society placed a strong emphasis on civic duty and public service, with individuals expected to contribute to the common good. The translation of religious texts provided insights into the spiritual life of the civilization. They worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each associated with different aspects of life and nature. Religious ceremonies were an integral part of their culture, with rituals that marked important events such as births, marriages, and harvests. The texts described elaborate festivals and processions, where the entire community would come together in celebration and worship. The deeper the researchers dug, both literally and figuratively, the more they realized how interconnected this ancient civilization had been with the broader ancient world. Artifacts made from materials not native to the region pointed to extensive trade routes that reached far beyond what was once considered possible. Items from as far away as the Mediterranean, Central America, and possibly even Asia were found, indicating a level of global interaction that was astonishing. One of the most puzzling finds was a small, intricately carved stone disc. The disc was inscribed with symbols that did not match the script found on the tablets. Instead, it resembled writing systems from ancient Mesopotamia. This discovery led to new theories about early transoceanic contact, suggesting that this civilization might have been part of a vast network of early maritime trade that connected disparate cultures long before the commonly accepted timelines. As the site continued to draw international attention, the academic debates grew more intense. Theories about the origins and connections of the civilization varied widely. Some scholars proposed that it was a previously unknown branch of the Mesoamerican cultures, while others argued for a possible link to the ancient civilizations of the Old World. Each new artifact and translated text added pieces to the puzzle but also raised new questions. John Lawson watched all this unfold with a sense of wonder and pride. His farm had become a crossroads of history and modern scholarship, a place where the past and present met in unexpected ways. He had developed close relationships with many of the researchers, who often sought his input and assistance. John's innate understanding of the land and his practical knowledge proved invaluable to the archaeologists, who often relied on his insights to guide their work. In addition to the scientific community, the site had attracted spiritual leaders and cultural ambassadors from indigenous groups. These representatives were interested in understanding the connections between their own heritage and the newly discovered civilization. There were respectful exchanges of knowledge and traditions, and a shared commitment to honoring the history and culture of the ancient people who had once lived on the land. The site also became a focal point for discussions about cultural preservation and the responsibilities of modern societies to protect and honor ancient heritage. There were debates about how best to balance the needs of ongoing research with the preservation of the site's integrity. Proposals were made to establish a dedicated research center and museum on the property, ensuring that the discoveries could be studied and appreciated for generations to come. Meanwhile, the local community continued to thrive. The economic benefits of the site's popularity were significant, but there was also a deeper sense of pride and connection to history. Schools incorporated the discoveries into their curricula, and local festivals celebrated the rich cultural heritage of the region. John's farm had become more than just a landmark. It was a source of inspiration and identity for the entire community. One particularly impactful project was the development of educational programs that brought students from around the world to the site. These programs offered hands-on experience in archaeology and history, giving young people the opportunity to engage directly with the past. John enjoyed hosting these groups, sharing his story and watching as a new generation of scholars and enthusiasts were inspired by the ancient civilization beneath his fields. As the archaeological team prepared to open new sections of the site, they faced a critical decision about how to proceed with areas that appeared to be particularly fragile or significant. One such area was a newly discovered chamber that contained what appeared to be a burial crypt for high-ranking individuals. The chamber was sealed with a massive stone door, covered in carvings that depicted scenes of great battles and heroic deeds. Opening the chamber required delicate work to ensure that the contents were preserved. The team used the latest techniques in conservation and restoration, taking extreme care to avoid damage. When the door was finally opened, the sight that greeted them was both awe-inspiring and humbling. The chamber contained the remains of what appeared to be royalty or revered leaders, surrounded by treasures and artifacts that spoke to their status and achievements. Among the most remarkable finds in the chamber was a collection of beautifully crafted weapons and armor. These items were not only functional but also works of art, adorned with precious metals and stones. The craftsmanship was exquisite, indicating a high level of skill and a deep appreciation for both utility and beauty. The presence of these items also suggested a warrior culture, with a strong emphasis on martial prowess and honor. The chamber also contained a set of scrolls made from a material that appeared to be a type of treated animal hide. These scrolls were in remarkably good condition, thanks to the dry, stable environment of the sealed chamber. The texts on the scrolls provided additional insights into the society's history and beliefs. They included epic poems, detailed genealogies, and records of significant events. The scrolls painted a picture of a society that valued storytelling and the preservation of history through written word. The ongoing research and discoveries continued to captivate the world. Documentaries and books chronicled the excavation, providing a detailed account of the findings and their implications. The story of the ancient civilization became a part of the broader cultural consciousness, influencing art, literature, and even popular media. Films and television series inspired by the site brought the ancient world to life for audiences around the globe. John Lawson remained at the heart of it all, his life forever changed by the discovery beneath his fields. He had come to see his farm not just as a piece of land, but as a living testament to the enduring legacy of human history. The ancient civilization had left behind a rich tapestry of culture, knowledge, and mystery, and John was committed to ensuring that their story was told and remembered. As he reflected on the journey that had brought him from a simple farmer to the guardian of an ancient legacy, John felt a profound sense of connection to the past. He realized that the land had always been more than just a place to grow crops. It was a repository of memories, stories, and lives that had shaped the world in ways he was only beginning to understand. The discovery had transformed his understanding of history, community, and his own place in the world. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what do you think the farmer found on his field? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.